Hello, baseball fans. We are live this evening on the Driving to the Top production, the Swanky Spectrum Sports, all YouTube, Twitter pages as we talk baseball from coast to coast, New York, LA, and Florida in between. I'm top left. I am Dylan, the host of the Big D podcast, Swanky Spectrum Sports YouTube page. From in New York, we've got Jamie Deloy, DJ Dog,
Tags.
and then in LA, Dr. Jason. Jason, I'm sure it's sunny in LA right now.
It's very sunny. It's very hot. It's a dry heat, and I don't care if there's humidity or not. When it's this hot, 103 degrees, it is unbearable, man.
I can attest as someone who deals with heat and humidity for half the year, it sucks.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Although good news is at least we don't have a heat dome like Jamie does in New York right now.
Yeah, that's true. How is that heat dome there, Jamie?
It's a little bit unbearable, but when it's New York State, you got to enjoy it before the harsh realities of December hit again. So it's really, they say it's 4 seasons in New York. It's really 2 seasons. It's just winter and summer. There's really no fall and spring.
I love it.
Do you have air conditioning at your house?
Yeah, I do.
I'm sure it's on right now.
Yeah, so, I got air conditioning in my house too. You don't dare live where I live here in California in the summer without air conditioning. You'd be dumb to not have it. So I got it in mine too.
Oh, I'll tell you, the worst time to live in my house is right after a hurricane where you don't have power and, more importantly, air conditioning. Because if the Big D is hot, things are not going to go well.
Oh, lovely.
So, obviously, coast to coast. So, should we start in New York or LA first? Because should we start in New York or LA first?
Oh, why don't we go ahead and let Jamie lead this thing off? Jamie, what's going on with the Yankees, man? What's up with Rizzo? What happened to him?
Honestly, I think they're going to put him on injured reserve. I think he's going to be done. He was going to be done as a Yankee anyway. He's not been performing like Anthony Rizzo used to be, and and Dylan said backstage he's the Jose Abreu of the Yankees, the older guy who's not hitting well. And I just said now it's time to either let him go in free agency or train him for a World Series piece. But luckily they do have a prospect in Ben Rice, who I saw at the Red Wings game this Friday. Oh, and did I mention Garrett Cole made his rehab start then too?
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't need Anthony Rizzo. Right now they could just move LeMahieu all around or Cabrera all around.
Yeah, Anthony Rizzo is on the IL with a fractured hand. Looks like he'll be out at least a month and a half. So looks like some combination of Oswaldo Cabrera and DJ LeMahieu will play the corners for the Bronx Bombers. But Anthony Rizzo's not been himself. He's below league average offensively, and we saw with the Astros and Jose Abreu. Is there a chance Anthony Rizzo play his last game with the Yankees?
Yes, I think I said it right on the mark, Dylan. I think he played his last game. Anthony Rizzo, was nice having you on the team, but as they say, all good things must come to an end, buddy. You've had a good career with us, but this year it just ain't happening. So happy trails, my friend.
So, Jamie, quick question. Now that Rizzo is out of the picture for the foreseeable future, I was actually following John Heyman on his X account earlier today, and Heyman was actually suggesting, I'm taking it for what it's worth, I don't like Heyman as an insider, but Heyman was suggesting that maybe the Yankees could experiment and move Anthony Volpe to first base. What do you think the likelihood of that happening is?
Like I said, I would stick with LeMahieu and Cabrera and just keep Volpe at shortstop where he could earn his first All-Star bid in just his second year playing.
I've got a better idea. Instead of moving Anthony Volpe the first base, Anthony Rizzo, Anthony Volpe. Say that 12 times fast. Why don't the Yankees call the phone and call their next door neighbor, the Mets? I hear they have a first baseman, potential free agent. I don't know, Pete Alonso?
As much as I would like that, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a fit with the Yankees. I think they're, like I said, Hal Steinberger wants to get the payroll to under $300 million. So I think that means calling up, like I said, Ben Rice from the Rail Riders, and then going from there and letting him be the new first baseman next year for Rizzo.
Given what you said about Rizzo's offensive struggles, obviously with Juan Soto in there and with Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton, it sounds to me, Jamie, like they were never really missing Rizzo's bat to begin with, since those three guys have gotten off to hard starts this season. So it stands to reason that offensively they're not going to miss a beat without Rizzo in that lineup. Is that correct?
Yeah, I definitely believe they're not going to miss a single beat.
Interesting. And then also, what about Jason Dominguez? What happened to him? I thought he was on the verge of being called up. Did he get injured again?
Yeah, but thank goodness it's only on the 7-day injury list, and he wouldn't have gotten called up unless something happened to Soto. But what I think, I heard this at the Red Wings game. A Yankee fan in front of us was saying that you don't sign Soto, you save the money and just call up Dominguez and have him be the guy to replace him next year. And I still think that's going to be their long-term plan, because right now in the short term, he's out, but it's only for a week, which is 7 days. But yeah, he's definitely still in their long-term plans to eventually be a Yankee full-time.
By the way, I'm looking up Anthony Rizzo's numbers on Baseball Reference right now. I know you guys might not be analytical. What do you think Anthony Rizzo's OPS plus is?
I'm gonna shoot for 565.
I'm gonna say 603.
Slash line 223 batting average, 289 on base, 341 slugging, 630 OPS. OPS plus 79 with a 100 OPS at 79 OPS plus, well below league average.
Wow.
Oof.
Whew, that's not good. No, that's not good.
Especially like you said, Jason, when they're not going to miss a beat when they already have the bats of Stanton, Judge, and Soto, and it's not going to cut in this lineup because they're too deep now of a team to have a guy playing that poorly in Rizzo.
Yeah. And then what was Rizzo making salary wise? Is he still under club control for another 2 seasons, or is this his last year in his contract right now?
I think this is it at like 20 mil.
Yeah, last year 20 mil of his $20 million contract.
Okay. And he's going to be out, estimated 4 to 6 weeks?
Yeah, which is about a month of the season, as Dylan referred to.
Okay.
So, I mean, is there a chance the Yankees look at a first baseman, Pete Alonso? I mean, maybe a Paul Goldschmidt, although Goldschmidt's not having a great year.
No, Goldschmidt's really struggling.
Goldschmidt can't hit the 95-plus mile an hour fastball.
Nope.
I don't think a lot of hitters can, unless you're a home run hitter now, though, really, to be honest.
I don't know. I saw Rafael Devers said Roldis Chapman's 103 mile an hour fastball out of the park.
But Chapman's 103 mile per hour fastball, though, is more of a flat fastball nowadays, isn't it? It doesn't have the movement on it that it used to have.
Right. Well, but like I said, you got to be lucky, though, too, Dylan, to hit 103 miles an hour, too.
Hey, better be lucky than good, right? I mean, George Brett hit one that's still flying through the Bronx Zoo.
I know, in a game which they originally overturned because of the pine tar, but then they gave them the victory because they said the pine tar rule was BS.
No, I don't mean that game. I mean Game 3 in the 1980 ALCS.
1980 ALCS?
1980.
Yeah, but I still think didn't the Yankees still move on to the World Series then, though?
No, the Royals won the pennant that year.
Yeah, and then the Yankees won the pennant in 81 and lost to the Dodgers the next year. That's why.
Yep. As far as Dylan, as far as the Yankees getting another first baseman, I don't know if they're more inclined to get another first baseman as they are another position player, maybe to fill the depth in on their roster. And I'm not familiar with the Yankees roster. Jamie knows more about this than I would, but a guy's name who's been popping up a lot is Paul DeJong from Chicago with the White Sox. And even though I heard it would take a king's ransom to get him, which is absolutely absurd because DeJong is good, but he's not that good. It shouldn't require four top 10 prospects and then an all-star position player to get him, which is what I heard the asking price is. I can see DeJong playing in New York. I think he would fit in there with the Yankees, but I think they're more inclined to get another position player to fill in their depth than they are first baseman. I don't know, Jamie, what do you think?
Yeah, and if you were to ask Hal Steinberger that same question, you'd say, no, we're not giving up that much to get him, even though he might be a great first baseman, because like he said, he wants to get the paid roll to under $300 million.
Yeah.
And still win a championship. That's the goal.
I mean, I don't know if DeJong's been good offensively, but I don't know if he's great at defensive-minded shortstop. I mean, I'm trying to think.
That's a lot of currency you'd have to give up to get him.
Yeah, which, I mean, to me is absurd because DeJong is not a perennial all-star or an MVP candidate. If he were all of that, I can understand giving up the haul that the White Sox want to get him. But, I mean, it's absolutely asinine if White Sox general manager Chris Getz really thinks he's going to get all of those prospects and an all-star caliber player for one utility guy in Paul DeJong. It ain't going to happen. He's going to have to come down on his trade demands if he really wants to unload DeJong at or near the trade deadline.
Well, right, and the White Sox are going to have to get a lot of prospects some other way because, like I said, they're at the bottom of the league.
Yep.
They only got 15 wins, but they're going to be sellers. We all know they're sellers. They were sellers the moment the league started.
Yeah. They've been advertising it. You're right since spring, since pitchers and catchers reported. Jamie, you're right.
Right.
Jamie,
it was staying with the Marlins but you said, Dylan, they went on a little bit of a hitting streak.
Jamie, I've got the perfect target for you. Lamont Wade of the San Francisco Giants, because he's actually really good offensively, even though the Giants play in a ballpark that Bryson DeChambeau couldn't hit home runs in.
It's not a bad ballpark, though. I mean, it's okay for being San Francisco. It's not great, but it's not terrible.
Wait a minute. It sure sounded like Yankee Stadium to me when you guys went there.
Yeah, but are you talking about the old Yankee Stadium or the one they play in now?
No, I mean, when the Yankees went there a couple of weeks ago, it sounded like the Bronx Zoo.
Well, yeah, because Yankees fans travel everywhere they go. It's the Bronx Zoo and every road game. It's kind of like Bills Mafia's everywhere, and with the Bills, the Bronx Zoo's everywhere with the Yankees when they go on the road. Their fans travel well. You can hear, like, look, even in the game when they lost to Boston yesterday, when they were making a rally, you could hear "Let's Go Yankees" over the ESPN broadcast, and the Boston fans were booing. It was funny.
Well, here's why the Yankees need to go after Lamont Wade, because he's got a .470 on base percentage. That way, he's going to get on base. Great defensive first baseman and cheap contract for next year. We know Rizzo's done after 24.
I actually like that proposal there, Dylan. You're right. Lamont Wade is he's not going to pad the stat lines, but he'll give you what you need, especially for an organization like the Yankees that doesn't need any more offensive firepower beyond what they already have. I like that proposal. That's a good one.
Well, hey, he's not flashy, but at least as long as it's an upgrade over Rizzo, I'll take it.
I mean, Rizzo's been, the fourth hitter in baseball this year, and I'm not sure Rizzo's been healthy since the concussion in 23.
I know you could argue, obviously, he's overstayed his welcome, but you know what? I think the best moves I think a general manager can make, and this is kind of like what happened with the Sabres when Kyle Pozo overstayed his welcome, but they let him overstay his welcome last year so that they could trade him and still get compensation for him. So letting Rizzo overstay his welcome now is probably a good thing. So then he can go on a good note, and the Yankees can get a cheaper alternative for him.
Hey, maybe he'll get a ring tomorrow night, but that's another sport. So, good news, Jamie. I hear Garrett Cole will be making his season debut this week.
Yes, he is Wednesday, in fact, and like I said, and I had the honor of being able to see Cole, number 45, last year's reigning AL Cy Young Award winner, pitch at Frontier Field before a crowd of over 13,600 people at Innovative Field in Rochester against the Red Wings, and it was the second largest crowd in Innovative Field history because everybody was there to see him, which was really cool. And he struck out 10 guys too.
Yeah, so obviously Garrett Cole's ready to rumble, but what are the Yankees going to do pitching staff wise? Because I mean, Gil, even though he somehow avoided trouble on Friday, I mean, his command could be. Are the Yankees going to do a 6-man rotation and try and spread out the workload?
That's what their plan. That's what one of the initial proposals and plans were, and I think it's still going to be that. You mean, but hey. I don't need to cry woe is me. That's a good problem to have when you can do a 6-man rotation. It just shows you got the pitching to be able to contend.
And I would also think that Aaron Boone will probably have him on a pitch limit too. I would say no more than 70, 80 pitches at the most.
Right. It'll basically be spring training for him again, where they're going to limit his pitches.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Hey, I mean, but if Garrett Cole can be right for October, you imagine Garrett Cole starting Game 1 and Game 5 of a series against Baltimore, Cleveland, or anybody. That's a good problem. I'll take that guy. I mean, he finally won the Cy Young last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would definitely take that in a heartbeat. Anybody would.
Yeah, good problem to have.
Well, speaking of problems, Jason, do you want the bad news or really bad news?
I've already heard both in the last 24 hours, but lay it out to me again, my friend.
Well, obviously, unless you were watching Bryson DeChambeau match 380-yard drives, Mookie Betts was hit on the hand during yesterday's game against the Royals.
Yep.
Fractured his left hand, and looks like he'll be out. Good news, he won't need surgery. Bad news, he'll be out, 4 to 6 weeks?
I was following Dodger Twitter this afternoon, and as of 3 hours ago, they tweeted out that he is slated to miss approximately 6 to 8 weeks, no surgery involved. Again, that's approximate. That doesn't mean he's going to come back within that 6 to 8 weeks. That's just the timetable they're giving him. Where he got hit was right about here on the left hand with that 98-mile-an-hour fastball. And none of the small bones in any of his fingers or wrists were broken, which is why he doesn't need surgery, which is good. But he has the hairline fracture right down the upper part of the pinky finger and then kind of back towards the knuckles here too. So, he's going to be out again approximately 6 to 8 weeks. And Dylan, that's not even the start of their problems. Yoshi Yamamoto is going to be out with a rotator cuff strain. He is out for the foreseeable future. They haven't even put a timeline on his return yet. That's how bad his injury is. And that just continues to add to all their injury woes because Max Muncy is still on the injured list. Joe Kelly is still on the injured list. Ryan Brazier is still on the injured list. I mean, the beat goes on like Sonny and Cher used to sing. But you're right. With Mookie going down, I was watching the game yesterday and I saw how he got hit. And first of all, Dodgers fans, you need to shut up about Kansas City's pitcher deliberately going after him. He didn't. He lost control of the fastball. He was trying to throw inside, lost his grip, and that's why it hit Mookie. Mookie couldn't get out of the way of it in time because it was so fast. So fellow Dodgers fans, check your egos. This wasn't the case of Kansas City headhunting. The guy just merely lost his grip on the fastball.
I mean, it seems like a lot of guys get hit by pitches now, and I mean, I don't know if Mark stand on the plate. Of course, Anthony Rizzo stands on the plate. I mean, it wasn't headhunt. I mean, guys
No.
get hit at just wrong place, wrong time. I mean, seemingly Mike Trout gets hurt, but yeah, first big injury I can remember Mookie suffering. So, lineup looked a little different without Mookie than I had. Will Smith in the 2-hole. I'm guessing Ohtani led off, right?
Yeah, Ohtani led off tonight's game against Colorado. Will Smith batting 2, Freddie Freeman batting in the 3rd spot, and then they had Teoscar batting cleanup. And then pretty much everybody after that was kind of pick and grab. I think Andy Pajes batting 5th, and then batting 6 was batting 6 was probably, who was it again? I don't have the lineup here, but yeah, I mean, when you look at a player of Mookie's caliber, it's not just what he does offensively at the plate that he brings to the team. It's everything else he does defensively, everything else he does in the clubhouse as well. There are so many guys, both in Boston and Los Angeles, when Mookie was with the Red Sox, who raved about just his ability to bring a club together to really unite the clubhouse, and he brings those other intangibles that just can't be replaced. So yeah, we're going to miss his bat a lot in that lineup. We are going to miss his glove, even though his defense at shortstop has been below average this season. But unfortunately, he's out 6 to 8 weeks, and the Dodgers have got to stop bickering and griping and complaining, and they've got to move on. Whether they move on by trading for a short-term guy, I don't know. What I do know right now is that Miguel Rojas and Kike Hernandez will be splitting most of the time defensively at shortstop. And then unless something changes with the lineup, I think Doc is going to stick with Shohei batting leadoff, and then Will second, Freeman third, Teoscar cleanup, and then a pick of the litter after that.
Well, Mike, I mean, yeah, we know Rojas is really good defensively. Even though he's been good offensively this year, I don't think you want Rojas playing every day there.
Yeah, not every day, Dylan, but here's an interesting stat that I found out yesterday watching the Dodger game about Rojas. Take it for what it's worth here. When Rojas gets at least one hit in a game that he starts with the Dodgers, LA, 21-1. When he's not in the lineup and when he doesn't produce, the Dodgers are just 19-15. So take that for what it is. Again, I'm looking too much into it there, and you're right. Defensively, they don't come any better than him. But at age 34, he can't play every day. And so it does make sense to have Kike platoon with him there. And I wouldn't even be surprised if they try and take a chance here and get ballsy and move Chris Taylor at shortstop as well, or have Taylor play a little bit of third too for the days when Kike bounces over from third to short.
Am I crazy for saying this? But could the Dodgers be? I mean, maybe the Dodgers were thinking this anyway, because I don't think Gavin Lux could hit water if he fell off a boat right now. Could the Dodgers be thinking about making a move for a shortstop? We already mentioned Paul DeYoung. I'm just thinking, if a team north of the border falls out of the race, Bo Bichette?
Yeah, Dylan, I think it's still highly feasible that they could still make a move for a shortstop, because you're absolutely right. Those rumors were swirling since the start of spring training, and I mean, way before Mookie got injured. There were questions about his defensive production at short, even though he'd been putting in all the extra work to get better at that position. So I think you're right. I think this injury might, if anything, accelerate Andrew Friedman and Brandon Gomes to go out there and look for another shortstop. So that way, when Mookie comes back, they can stick him back at second base, and then they can trade Gavin Lux for a couple of prospects to replenish their farm system, or interchange with a couple of other different ways. So yeah, that's still very possible. It could happen.
I mean, Jamie, what do you think about that? What do you think about the Dodgers maybe making a move for a shortstop?
They're gonna have to, right? I mean, Mookie Betts is definitely a great player. He's probably one of the better shortstops in the league, but they're gonna have to move on fast. And and get a shortstop. Maybe somebody from dare I say, who do the Marlins have a shortstop?
Oh gosh, are you going to met what? You think the Marlins are going to trade Jazz Chisholm now?
They're sellers too. I mean, I don't know. I could say the White Sox, but that would get rhetorically boring if I just said if the Dodgers pulled everybody from the White Sox.
There's, guys, there's something else to consider too, and that is with all of this parity in Major League Baseball right now, with so many teams either at 500 or below 500, yet within 2 or 3 games of the last wild card in both leagues, I don't think we're going to see as active of a trade market this season as we've had the last couple years, just because a lot of those clubs know that if they can pull off an Arizona Diamondbacks and a Texas Rangers-esque run in late September, early October, as long as they can stick around 500 or even be 3 games under, if they catch fire and they roll into October the way Texas and Arizona did last season, they may feel they have a chance at it. So while there will be a trade market, I don't think it will be as robust as we've seen the last couple of years. That's just my opinion.
And we know, we know it's a seller's market because there might be more buyers than players available. I mean, it seems like you could get a corner outfielder like they're a dime a dozen, but starting pitching, I mean, you imagine how. I mean, I don't think the Detroit Tigers are trading Tyler Skubal. I don't think the White Sox give away that big lefty they have.
I heard the Yankees are linked to Michael Kopech from the White Sox.
Why would they go after him? He couldn't. Why would they go after him? I mean, the last time Kopech threw a pitch, I mean, Kopech's talented, but I don't know.
Because they need to add more to the bullpen. He's a flame door. He's got a 101 mile an hour fastball. That's why.
Well, that's if he's got the command, which nobody's got now.
The thing that concerns me about Mookie is that when he does come back, what will and look, he's a mentally tough guy anyway. It takes a lot to razzle him, but I mean, physically, when he is capable of returning to the roster and when he gets back in the lineup, what is his production going to be like? I say that because back in 2021, Corey Seager suffered a very similar injury when he was still with the Dodgers. He missed 65 games because of a broken wrist. When he came back, he slashed to the tune of about a 289, 290 batting average with about 6 home runs, 35 driven in, and a slugging percentage well above 890. So I don't know if Mookie will be able to produce that much when he comes back. And I also have to think that the Dodgers are going to be treating this guy like fine porcelain. They're going to be babying him on his rehab assignments. Well, they're going to want to make sure he gets quality at bats when he's able to swing a bat again. They're not going to want to exacerbate it and take a chance that he re-injures himself. So I'm going to be more interested to see what he will be like production-wise when he comes back. He'll be back up there and aggressive as always, but I mean, will he have lingering effects from that broken wrist mentally and physically? That will be interesting to see.
You know what also is going to affect Mookie since it's on his left hand? He can't kick ground balls.
That's right. And I guess, Dylan, the saving grace in this is that the injury happened on his fielding hand, which, again, it's not a good injury either way you look at it. But, I mean, if he were to dive for a ball to his left side and land on that wrist funny, then you're right. He runs the risk of fracturing that wrist all over again. And that's another reason why the Dodgers should probably get a shortstop to move him back at second base or even stick him back in right field and have him platoon with Jason Hayward in right field. So you don't run as much of a risk of him re-injuring that wrist while making a play as you normally would.
I've got an idea, and Dodger fans might not like me for this. Why not have Shohei Ohtani in the outfield the last half of the season?
No, because they're working on getting that elbow back up for pitching. I hear where you're going, Dylan. I like your train of thought. But by putting Shohei in the outfield, I think the Dodgers would be risking too much on him potentially re-injuring his elbow while throwing the ball. And yes, I know with the way he swings the bat, he stands as good a chance of re-injuring that elbow swinging a bat as he does throwing. But I haven't heard anything about the Dodgers wanting to do that. Again, I like your train of thought. I just think they would be playing with a loaded gun if they tried to do it that way with Shohei. And plus, Shohei hasn't played the outfield in a very long time. So I don't know how long it would take for them to, matriculate him back into any of those positions out there.
I mean, but be honest with you, I don't think we're seeing Shohei Ohtani throw 2 innings. I mean, he's thrown 100 average 100 120 innings. I think the Dodgers are better off letting him. Maybe he'll be a closer, or maybe he'll end up being like the kid from Florida who's hitting 400, who's hitting 95, 34 home runs and pitching once a week.
Yeah. And you know what? Truth be told, I would love to see Shohei Ohtani be a closer. I think he would be a lights-out closer. I mean, we saw what happened when John Smoltz made the conversion from starter to closer after all of his elbow injuries. Smoltz was just as good, if not more dominant as a reliever / closer than he was as a starter. And Smoltz is in the Hall of Fame. So, I would love to see Shohei be a closer. I think he would be a lights-out closer. Not saying he'd be the next Mariano Rivera, but I think it would be interesting and fun to see Shohei come in and close out a game with the last 3 outs on the line. That's a good idea. I like that.
Or Dennis Eckersley.
That's right. Dennis Eckersley. Yeah, Dennis Eckersley was previously a 20-game winner as a starter before he became a closer. I think he won 20 games with the Red Sox, if I'm not too much mistaken. So you're right. It can be done. It's been done before.
Okay, we mentioned both your teams. Oh gosh, do we have to do my teams because my Florida teams? Oh gosh, do we have to mention my Florida teams?
Yes, because I want to know first of all, I want to find out what's going on with just the whole front office morale, because I've been reading a lot of stuff where Skip Schumacher has now said, okay, I'm out. I don't want to be manager. And their general manager, apparently this guy wouldn't know his right from his left. Dylan, what's going on in South Beach when I thought just 2 years ago the Marlins were trending up? Now it seems like they're trending down. What's going on with the Fish, man?
The Marlins can't get anything right.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, to be honest with you, the only thing that would make this even worse is if we had the Carolina Panthers owner.
Oh.
I knew you were going to go there.
Oh, David Tepper, I hope you're listening.
David Tepper, yeah.
Yeah. That's bad, Dylan.
By the way, did you hear?
Just don't spill our drinks on the computer. Oh, wait, you can do that, David Tepper.
Yeah, right.
Did you hear Tepper say, I need money from the city of Charlotte? Oh, wait, you're worth $20 billion, by the way.
I know, and they want to do a $1 billion renovation of the new stadium, the stadium that they have now, instead of building a new one. But different sport, different time. Can't wait for that to get going pretty soon. But back to baseball, folks.
But be honest with you, the Marlins can't get anything right. I mean, Marlins have got injuries. I mean, Perez. I mean, Alcantara. I mean, the Marlins just stink right now. I mean, the Marlins don't want to spend money. Heck, half the teams most teams don't want to spend money. It's pathetic that we see teams. I'm not going to mention teams not want to spend money. The Marlins made the playoffs last year, and yet Miami traded the NL batting champ Luis Suarez in the middle of the year. I'm like, why didn't you just trade him last year? Like, why would you trade Papa Lopez to get Luis Suarez? And he won the batting title, and then you trade his bleep to San Diego. I'm like, why would you even make that trade? That makes no sense. And yet the Marlins just F up everything. General manager made great moves last year, yet she's gone, and now Skip's gone because the Marlins are a bunch of pampered misfits. What the bleep?
Dylan, it all comes down to what you just said. There's no direction in the front office. The success of any sports team starts with the direction, the leadership that you have from the very top down, not only from the owner's box, but down to the front office. If you don't have everybody clicking and coalescing on the same path of where they want to build their team's success, it's just not going to work. And then when you have too many captains and not enough privates in the room, and what I mean by that is when you have too many of the wrong people tossing their 2 cents in about the way a team should be run, you have dissension within the ranks, And it gets to a point where it no longer serves anybody any good to just point fingers and say, hey, you're to blame, you're to blame, you're to blame, you're to blame. That is how bad at least that's how I perceive the Marlins situation to be, is because again, like you said, Dylan, it starts from the very top. You have to develop that culture, that attitude of success. The Dodgers have been able to do it ever since the Guggenheim Group bought them. The Orioles have got something really wonderful going up there in Baltimore. And even the Padres, to an extent, have done it, although on a different level and through a different route. But I personally was really upset when Kim Ng got yanked, because she came from the Dodgers organization, and I thought she was a great hire for the Marlins when they brought her in. She advised LA on a lot of their draft picks, on a lot of their free agent acquisitions, on a lot of their trades. She has a really good baseball mind, and I was shocked when they let her go. And I bet right now, Dylan, no offense, my friend, right now she's sitting back laughing her ass off seeing what's happening in South Beach, because she's probably glad that she's not involved in that dumpster fire right now.
I mean, the only good thing about being in that dumpster fire, at least there's sellers this year.
Yeah, we know this. The Miami Marlins are definitely sellers. Anybody, you want Jesus Luzardo, you want
Jazz Chisholm,
you want Josh Bell, you want Tanner Scott. The Marlins are available because Miami and Colorado are the only two teams we know that aren't going anywhere near the playoffs in the National League. Everyone else, fair game.
But Dylan, based on what we were just talking about here, do you honestly feel like the Marlins are even capable of making adequate trades that will replenish their farm system and give them long-term success down the road here? Because these guys apparently couldn't even juggle a red ball on their noses. So it makes you think that they're going to be adequate enough to go in and make decent trades to make their farm system better and their organization as a whole better.
But Jason, I think Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer can make better trades than the Marlins right now.
I agree with you. I agree.
But to be honest with you, I don't trust the Marlins to do anything right now. There are certain teams I don't want to trade. Like if the New England Patriots offer you somebody, not now, but like 12, 15 years ago, the Patriots offer you somebody, don't trade with the Patriots. They know something. Right now, if Howie Roseman called, don't trade with Howie Roseman. He always wins the deal. Well, the Marlins are just the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Right now. Come. I mean, yes, the Marlins made a whale of a move trading Marcell Ozuna to the Cardinals, but that was many years ago. I mean, right now, the Marlins can't do anything right. And to be honest with you, if I'm a player, I want out of Miami because the Marlins don't have a fan base. Like you put Jazz Chisholm's got a great personality. You put Jazz Chisholm in, name me a random MLB city right now.
Cincinnati.
Maybe not Cincinnati, but you put Jazz Chisholm in LA, I'll tell you right now, he'd be a star in 5 seconds. You put him in New York, he'd be a star in 5 seconds. You put him at Fenway, he'd be a star in 5 seconds.
What about Wrigley Field?
You put him, he'd be a star in 5 seconds.
Yeah, he would. He's got he has the personality and the excitement to draw that fame there. So you're right. He would definitely fit in all those locations.
I mean, Jazz might not be the worst player for the Yankees because, I mean, Torres is going to be a free agent at the end of this year. I mean, Chisholm gives a left-hand bat, so short porch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, good luck hitting home runs at whatever in Miami. I mean,
that's an ugly-ass ballpark anyway. So
hey, but that's $1 billion ballpark, though, actually.
Yeah, from their previous slumlord of an owner, Jeffrey Loria. Take that for what it's worth.
Hey, it's actually true story. The Marlins, well, I don't know what it is now. The Marlins Stadium's where the Orange Bowl used to be in Little Havana.
Yeah, every sports team that Jeffrey Loria touches either wilts and dies or is yanked out of his control. So,
Gosh.
i.e. the Montreal Expos, i.e. the Miami Marlins, and then I think he had control of a soccer team yanked from him, if I'm not too much mistaken.
Maybe all the sports leagues should do the same thing for David Tepper, but that's a story for another day, right?
Yep, it is. We can do that when we talk about football next.
Oh gosh.
You know, there is another interesting story that kind of I almost kind of slid past, but I caught it out of my peripheral vision, and that was that MLB umpire that just got busted for gambling. God, who was it again? It was
Holbrook.
I'm sorry?
Pat Holbrook.
Thank you very much, Pat Holbrook. Yeah, and all of a sudden I started, I don't know why, but for some reason I had visions of Angel Hernandez popping up because it made me wonder, okay, we know why Angel Hernandez lost his job. He deserved to lose his job. But was he gambling on the side here with Pat Holbrook, and that's why he was so bad? What's going on here, man?
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, there were several baseball bad umpires. I mean, Angel Hernandez was bad, became the most infamous, but I don't think Angel Hernandez is the worst umpire. I mean, if you've seen, like, tonight in the Owners Mullins game, I saw 3 missed calls in the game. I saw the Mullins Jones 3 calls and won all of them. I mean,
only thing the Marlins seem to be winning now these days are challenges.
Hey, the good news is at least the Cleveland is still up and running.
Yeah, the Holbrook story to me is interesting because, I mean, look, the can of worms has already been opened in regards to gambling in all walks of professional sports. But now we're starting to see an umpire, an official, a guy who calls balls and strikes, a guy who makes the rules on the field. And I also thought about the Tim Donaghy situation in the NBA over a decade ago, and how Donaghy's situation obviously was much different because he was involved with actual organized crime. He was involved with organized bookmakers that were up to no good here. And as far as what we know, Pat Holbrook was not involved in the organized bookmaking part of gambling. But where I'm going with this is that this should not really come as a surprise to anyone. As the months and the years roll by here, we're going to start to see more guys get busted. We're going to start to see more names come out. I wouldn't be surprised if we have more MLB umpires get busted. I wouldn't be surprised if NFL referees, NBA referees, NHL referees, everybody out there gambles. Everybody gambles. The big concern here is that, are you gambling on games that your team is either playing in, winning or losing, or if you're a ref, are you gambling on games that you're officially calling, like what Tim Donaghy did? Because my main concern here, obviously, is that, with Pat Holbrook's situation, if he was gambling on games where he was calling balls and strikes, no harm from gambling, they said. Let it be legal, they said. What wrong could come of it, they said. Well, we're starting to see what's happening now, guys.
Yeah, didn't some baseball players get busted for gambling?
Well, the infamous Tucapita Marcano, who used to play for Adams, Pittsburgh Pirates, and then most recently the San Diego Padres, just got banned for life because he placed bets on games that he actually played in while a member of the Buccos. And then there were a couple of minor league players that got suspended, I think 40 or 60 games for their part in gambling in other sports, in baseball games that they weren't playing in. So, yeah, Dylan, we're starting to see more recent situations bust out here with these gambling issues.
As long as we don't have a 1919 Black Sox scandal, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know what? Honestly, I would not put it out of the realm of possibility for something like that to happen again. The only difference is that Buck Weaver, Joe Jackson, Chick Gandil, Hap Felch, and Eddie Seacott won't be on trial.
Actually, those guys were acquitted.
They were. Yeah, you're right. They were acquitted. But still, yeah, it makes me wonder, could we see another Black Sox type scandal? Oh, speak of the Pittsburgh Pirates, look who joined us.
Yeah, what's up, Adam?
Nah. I lost my my tower. So I'm on my notebook.
Nice.
How do you lose your power in Pittsburgh, mate?
My PC tower crashed.
Oh no!
All of our streams that were saved to it, gone.
Oh no! Oh
Oof.
shit, man!
Yeah. So if anyone wants to save any of the streams off of here, you're more than welcome to download it and send it to me on a disc. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm so freaking frustrated. But anyway, what's up, boys? How we doing?
Good.
Not much. Not much, Adam. We're just going to mention Paul Steen's pitch tonight.
We did.
By all schemes.
6 innings tonight.
Yep.
They're
Yeah.
2.1 now after today's adventure.
By the way, Adam, did you see Paul Skeens pick off Ellie De La Cruz for his first pickoff?
Wasn't that a Rollis Chapman?
That was first pickoff.
Wasn't that Chapman that picked him off?
No, it was Skeens.
You sure?
That's what I hear.
I could have sworn it was Chapman.
They just beat the Reds 4-1. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Chapman. Because that happened on a Cruz hit that single, and then Chapman picked him off at first, and that was his 8th career pickoff, I believe. I could be wrong, but I thought that's what I heard on the radio. I know my screen is dark. I am dark today, boys.
Yeah, you're all good.
I'm like in the shadow.
So Paul Skeens today, 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, 1 walk, 96 pitches through 6 innings, 2.29 ERA. Not bad.
My question is, boys, should he be a starter on, not the opening starter, but should he make the All-Star roster?
Yes. Yes.
Paul Skeens' career pickoff, Ellie De La Cruz.
Yes, he should. The All-Star game's bleeding for ratings. They've been bleeding for ratings in a while. I think he would be a ratings booster as a rookie with the 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Players
like Paul Skeens and Ellie De La Cruz make the game exciting to watch. Skeens needs to be in that All-Star game. I don't care if he doesn't have enough starts to be on the roster. He needs to be in that All-Star game. I agree with you, Adam. And ever since he was called up, he's done more than fulfill his potential. And I heard it best when I was watching the Dodgers play the Pirates in that weekend series a couple of weekends ago. Eric Karros, who's a color analyst for the Dodgers, said, I'll be honest with you. If the Pirates are in a wild card and I have to face them in a short series, I do not want to see Paul Skeens and Jared Jones in a 5-game series because those two guys are really, really scary. So, yes, Skeens needs to be in that All-Star game. I agree with you.
Or as Pat McAfee calls them, the Hunno boys.
Right.
And you know what? I'm gonna cheat because Gunnar Henderson and Bobby Wood Jr. should both be starting for the AL in Arlington.
Gunnar Henderson should be AL MVP this year. That's how good of a season he's having.
Whoa, over Soto, Jason?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be ballsy here and say yes. Overall, I think so. That's just me though.
You know what, Jamie? Soto's not even the best hitter on the Yankees right now. It's Judge.
Not a bad problem to have.
Nope, not at all.
Unless you're playing the wild card series against Seattle.
Is Dallas going to wake up for the second half of this game?
Oh, don't even remind me, Dylan. 1995, the Yankees in Seattle. Ooh.
Hey, you got your revenge in 01, boss.
We did, and that's when Seattle won a league best 116 games, and the Yankees beat them.
Adam, if you're asking about the Mavericks and the Celtics in the finals, Dallas is getting their balls kicked in, man. 67-46 Boston at halftime.
I'm not a Boston fan, but you know what? I don't care at this point. End the series. I like Dallas, but it's Boston won. It was clear, but it was a foregone conclusion. Boston was going to win this series from game 1.
Yep.
So speaking of
making a freaking game.
So
Did you hear the fans chanting Kyrie sucks? Kyrie sucks. I heard it.
Well, they're in Boston. They're in Boston.
In the beginning of the game, I heard it.
They're in Boston. What do you expect?
So
I actually like Kyrie. But anyway, back to baseball. Go ahead, Dylan.
So speaking of Gunnar Henderson, the discussion, one big topic with the Orioles is could they sign one of Gunnar Henderson or Adley Rutschman? So if you were the Baltimore Orioles could only sign one of Henderson or Rutschman, who would it be?
Man, that is such a great question. It's so difficult to answer. Rutschman and Henderson are both young stars. These guys are both part of that renaissance of Baltimore that's going on right now. They're both all-stars. You can make a case for both of them being MVPs at some point in their careers. I'll be honest with you, Dylan. Every championship caliber major league team needs to have a solid all-star MVP caliber catcher behind the plate, a guy that can call the balls and strikes, a guy that can manage the game, a guy that can bring you all the intangibles. And as much as I love watching Gunnar Henderson play, he's an incredible player. I would honestly throw the long-term money at Adley Rutschman myself. And I know that catchers take a wear and tear behind the plate, just the physical beating they take from the day in and day out grind of being behind the dish there. But still, when I look at just the overall importance of one player to the team, I think Adley Rutschman is that guy that the Orioles have already started to build their success around. And with that being said, I would give him the long-term contract before I'd commit to Gunnar Henderson. And that is, for me, it's tough to say that because I like them both equally. I think they both deserve the long-term deals. But if I'm giving one out first, I'm giving it to Adley.
Jamie.
Remind me which you do. Remind me again who do Adley and Gunnar Henderson's with the O's, right?
Yeah, they're both with the Orioles. They're both due long-term contracts at the end of this season.
Well, I think Hadley, because you can't take catchers for granted. What are they? It's like what they say. That's why you see teams draft a lot of catchers. You need a lot of catchers. You need a lot of pitchers. So I would give the money to Adley.
Adam?
I think there's a way they get it done with both of them.
Without running the bill up, how do they do it?
It's baseball. There's no cap.
I know, but there's a luxury tax.
And your team's paying a lot more than and Jason and Jamie, your teams are paying a lot more than all teams are.
Right, but I keep rehashing though. Hal wants to get the payroll down to under $300 million. I keep rehashing that, Dylan.
Do you think they'll give a shit about luxury tax? Bought them a World Series.
So
I just think like I said, a lot of teams are, even the teams that are in the playoff mixes are thinking about selling and building for the future rather than just buying for a wild card, because they're looking at it as more of a business than they are trying to make a BS run.
Who the hell's selling? No, I don't. Looking at this trade rumors skill, there's nothing.
They're talking about the Red Sox selling, even though they're in for a wild card run. They talked about it on Fox. I was listening to the Fox baseball broadcast on Saturday when the Yankees were playing the Sox, and they said the Sox could actually sell even though they're going for a wild card spot.
What are they gonna do? Get rid of one of their best bats in Tyler O'Neill?
Well, Tyler O'Neill's been damaged goods this year. Maybe Kenley Jansen, but
yeah. But one thing I do notice, the Red Sox are making the game exciting again with some of the rules, like because of the bigger bases. They're a young, fast team that likes to swipe bags, which was evident against my Yankees last night in Jose Trevino.
Wait a minute! Didn't the Red Sox steal a franchise record 9 bases against your stinky?
I just said that's what I just said, though, and I said that.
You made Jose Trevino look like he's Jorge Posada.
Hey, he still hit a home run in the game, though.
Oh, Dylan, did you just toss the Jorge Posada reference out there? I just don't believe I heard what I just heard.
Jorge Posada was a great catcher, dude.
He was. He was an underrated great catcher. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame, but that's just me.
Dude, Josh Hill hit a home run.
Hip hip Jorge, like they used to say. Hip hip Jorge.
Joe Girardi used to call him Georgie.
I'll tell you what.
The Georgie Juice one, that was Sterling.
Yeah, right.
I'll tell you what. There would be one guy who would sign and be Gunnar Henderson, and I'd give him $500 million the more. He is that good. I think Gunnar Henderson's one of the top 2-3 players in the game today.
He's exciting. Yeah, I agree.
I'll tell you what. I think that Bobby Wood contract is exactly, and I may even throw in more dollars. I think Gunnar Henderson's that good. He's got. I mean, I thought Gunnar Henderson was good. He's so much better than I thought. I mean, power, speed, defense, shortstop. I mean, I'm not saying he's Cal Ripken because Cal Ripken, righty, Henderson's a lefty, but this guy is.
One player that Gunnar Henderson reminds me a lot of is Robin Yount, the Hall of Famer who used to play with the Milwaukee Brewers. Had a great combination of power, great combination of speed, great size at the position, and defensively much better than what people thought he is or thought he was. So, yeah, when I see Gunnar Henderson play, I look at a young Robin Yount because he is that good.
I think Henderson's better than Yount because Yount struggled in the field the first few years of his career.
Yeah.
And I'm a little worried Rushman's playing. Now, I mean, the Orioles all DH, and I'm a little worried he's playing so much so early. But maybe that's the way you get the most out of him. I mean, Johnny Bench played a lot for the Reds, and it seemed like he went on forever and ever.
Right. So I would try and sign them both. I really would. I don't care.
I mean, seems like Ketchum's having a resurgence this year. I mean, for a few years, it looked like catchers went down the toilet. But, I mean, baseball needs somebody to be the Buster Posey of this generation.
Well, and Rutschman can do that.
Yeah, he can. And switch hitting catcher comes rare.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, Jorge Posada, switch hitting catcher. No wonder why the Yankees won 5 more championships in 14 years.
Well, they had more than just him. It was Jeter, Scott Brocious, David Justice.
Don't forget
Paul O'Neill, yep.
Pino Martinez,
yep.
Don't forget Enter Sandman.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I missed the beginning of the show. What were the heavy topics in the beginning, boys?
We were just talking about the injury ramifications for the Yankees and the Dodgers with Rizzo and Betts primarily. How it was going to affect both clubs moving forward.
And I said I wasn't worried that they're gonna move on from Rizzo. I'm not too worried about that. They have a contingency plan for him.
By the way, Gunnar Henderson this year is looking 588. Adley Rutschman 473.
Santadar has been really good for the O's lately.
Santander?
Yeah. If only the O's could get Jackson Holiday going.
I know. We forgot about him too.
Who?
Jackson Holiday.
He'll be here eventually.
Yeah, they called him up a little bit too soon. I think they did that because they wanted to see what they had him at the professional level first. They were just messing around with him.
He showed flashes, but he still needs a little more seasoning.
A lot more. Yeah, he looked really overwhelmed after his first, 20 or 30 at bats. He was like a deer in headlights towards the last week before he got demoted.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's hurt.
We also talked about Adam. I was at the Garrett Cole Scranton rehab start against the Red Wings where he struck out 10 guys in front of the second biggest crowd at Innovative Field, 13,600 people.
And he struck out 10 against like Double A, right?
No, Triple A, the Red Wings.
So he's ready.
Yeah, he definitely is. Red Wings actually ended up winning the game because their pitching was good too. They won on a sac fly in the bottom of the 9th inning, 2-1. I didn't think they were going to have a prayer of winning that game because of Cole. And I told my parents before we were at the game, the only way the Red Wings were going to win that game is if they matched Cole's pitching, and they did. They kept it close, and they won with small ball to walk it off.
Okay. All right. Hey, what's going on with bets?
I told Dylan and Jamie that the official word on bets today is that he's going to miss approximately 6 to 8 weeks with that fractured left hand. No surgery, which is the good news. As for Yoshinobu Yamamoto, not so good. He has a rotator cuff strain. The Dodgers haven't put any timetable on his return, so who knows when Yoshi's going to come back. But as far as Mookie is concerned, again, 6 to 8 weeks. And until they either go out and get somebody else to replace him, it's going to be Rojas and Kike Hernandez sharing time there defensively at shortstop. And then as far as offensively in the lineup, LA opened up tonight with Shohei batting leadoff, Will Smith batting second, Freddie batting third, and then Teoscar Hernandez batting cleanup. And then everybody else after that was just a pick of the litter of crappy 6 through 9 hitters, which is what the Dodgers have plenty of. So that's what it's going to be like moving forward for the next 2 to 3 months here.
Well, why ain't Gavin Lux short?
Because Gavin Lux cannot play the position. He can't field it. He can't throw the damn ball from shortstop to first for some reason.
And Lux can't hit either.
Well, Lux hits better with runners in scoring position for some reason than he does without. He's batting, Dylan, to a clip of 292 with a slash line of about, I think he has a slugging percentage just above 500 with runners in scoring position. So he bats better with guys in scoring position, but you're right. For some reason, he just can't swing the lumber when the bases aren't loaded. So, it is what it is.
I mean, I saw you as brought over Cabin. What did you think of that move?
I was a little surprised at the move, only from the standpoint that I don't know what Cabin can provide them in the long term. He's not much of a hitter like his old man was. Defensively, he's decent, but I think maybe the Dodgers are bringing him over with hopes that maybe he can be their latest reclamation project. I don't know.
I remember when Cabin first came up, he had a good bat.
Yeah, he did. And when the Dodgers played the Blue Jays not too long ago, there was something in him that they saw that they apparently liked. So, they obviously think that they can work with his swing a little bit and tweak it and have him be a decent hitter. And if that's great, hey, if it works out for him, great, because we need more competent at-bats off the bench there. And also we need more versatility and more depth off the bench as well, because our depth is really horrible right now.
Jason, where can people contact you?
Yeah, sorry I have to bail out early, guys, but if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do that right here. Dodger Jason, that's me. Go ahead and converse with me there on X and all that other fun stuff. Follow me there. Thanks.
And can't wait for football season when your Packers and my Jags play. Woo!
That's right. I want to see if Trevor Lawrence really earned that big extension, buddy.
We'll be ready for you. At least we don't have to freeze our mittens off in Lambeau.
Well, I'll tell you what. Now that Trevor Lawrence signed that long-term deal, Dylan, Brian Gutekunst is on the clock, because now we're going to find out if Jordan Love is going to be the next quarterback to cash in on a major payday here. So we'll see what happens. It should be fun.
Hey, the good news is at least we got our deals done before the Cowboys signed Dak.
Yep, that's true. That's true. Anyway, guys, thanks again for having me on the show. It's always a lot of fun. You guys take care.
Buddy.
Yep.
I'm sorry I'm late to the show, but we got absolutely demolished. That rain came in and no one wanted to cook out.
I'll tell you what, Adam. We got too much rain last week here. We got like a foot plus of rain in the 239.
What?
Yeah. It rained like 4 or 5 inches, 3 to 5 inches for like 3 straight days.
That's crazy.
I mean, we got tropical storm Jamie Malloy at our house. And by the way, your Bills and my Jags play week 3 this year, so we might need to have a friendly podcast stream or a friendly wager on that game.
Looking forward to it.
I'm glad we played week 3 and not week 13. Because I remember the last time when we played up there, Leonard Fournette was ejected.
Him and Shaq Lawson, yep.
Oh, gosh, that did not go well.
That's the game where Jalen Ramsey called Josh Allen trash.
I think Jalen Ramsey talked too much trash.
Yep.
Hey, I mean, but the Jags are 2-0 in the last couple of games against the Bills.
Yeah, but where were the one was when you still had Urban. I'm bouncing at the strip club. Myers, your head coach, even though he was a good college coach. No, but he was too busy not telling his wife about the strip club payments. But anyway, and then the other game was, of course, in London, where Jacksonville never seems to lose. So,
hey, by the way, I know Urban Meyer and his family met him a couple times.
No, I know. I'm just kidding, Urban Meyer. I like you too. You beat Nick Saban in Alabama in the 2014 playoff, which led to the national championship. I give you credit for that. I was kidding with your time with the Jaguars.
Yeah, as we like to say, he who shall not be named.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. I don't know who'd be worse, Urban Meyer or Bobby Petrino.
Oh, no. They used to say Bobby Petrino when he was with the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons announcer said Bobby Petrino makes Nick Saban look like he's on house arrest. But to be fair, though, if Michael Vick didn't get suspended that year, though, I don't think Petrino would have lost his job because, to be fair, he had Joey Harrington as his quarterback that year.
Well, I mean, Bobby Petrino wasn't fired. He just flat quit. He just flat quit.
I don't think that would have happened had Vick not gotten suspended. So that didn't help Petrino's cause.
I mean, yeah. Who was the guy with the Jets back in the day? Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz sucked in the NFL, but Lou Holtz never fit the NFL.
Right, he was great with Notre Dame.
Urban Meyer should have just stayed with Fox instead of his cameo with the Jags, but that's a story from another day.
He's back with Fox now, actually.
I know. By the way, Adam, I know you're still having nightmares of Josh Allen running past your whole defense, right?
No.
That's why you went out and got two dual threat quarterbacks now.
Wait, one whose wife is more famous than he is now, and one who can't throw the ball to the correct color jersey.
Oh, come on, we love Sierra.
No, I said Sierra's more famous than Russ.
I don't know anything about her, so I'm staying out of that.
She's a singer, Adam.
I know she's a singer. I know that much.
Sierra's not quite Taylor Swift, but she's pretty close.
Good singer. Her music's great. Ladies, it's your song, so as soon as it's come on, you should get up on the body. You get your sexy out. It's better than the new girl that he on. Go ahead and tell her now. You gonna miss me when I'm gone.
I know what Jamie does at 3 a.m. in your basement.
I'm out.
Oh, gosh. Now you're going to make me draft Justin Fields in the first round of my next best ball draft. Gosh dang it. Gosh dang it.
Best ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a couple best ball drafts today. I'm at 19 millimaker drafts.
The million make it. The million?
Yeah, I'm at 19.
So you spent almost $2 grand or $2,000 on.
Dylan, do you think we should wrap this up? Then we can talk, or what do you want to do?
Yeah. So you can hit us up. Of course, the boss man, Adam. He's the leader of crew driving to the top productions. Jamie, you're gonna host the Subway podcast Wednesday, I'm guessing.
Yep, 8:00. Be sure to tune into that, guys, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. We really appreciate you guys listening and subscribing because we're trying to get better all the time. And you can also follow me, yours truly, at Jamie Malloy, the unbiased journalist, and at Jamie Malloy. Bill's Chat 1 at Bill's Mafia Chat. Then Jamie Malloy, the unbiased journalist, at DJ Dog Tags on X. So follow me there too.
And then Dylan, big host of the Big B podcast, Spunky Spectrum Sports at Dylan S Sports One, and we will see you guys later.
Toodles.